Hey everybody, Alex Shefflet here, and I'm bringing you week 10 of this KDF Marathon strength training program. Sorry for the late upload. It's been a hectic past couple of days, and I'm finally getting able to do this voiceover here. So, like always, I separated out these two workouts so you can stop and pause here if you need to, write it down if you want. Next time I'm probably going to try and actually make the PDF accessible so that you guys can just download it and print it out. Alright, and here we go with workout 1. So the first thing that we have are Bulgarian split squats. So the height of that box, it doesn't matter. I took a big step out, and I'm trying to drop that back knee straight down to the ground. Notice that I have the kettlebell in the opposite side, so my left leg is working, but I'm holding it in my right hand. Notice that I'm keeping my chest as upright as possible, and I'm not reaching that kettlebell in front to my front foot. It's staying right at my hip. That's really important so that you're not leaning forward too much. Then we do have something sort of new here. We have a rotational broad jump, so just a jump for distance. Notice that it's a 90-degree turn every time. So I'm going to start facing you, and then I'm going to turn to each side, my left and my right. And just like with all of our jumping, we're really just focusing on the landing mechanics. It's not about how far you're getting, it's about how soft you can land. And then our Romanian deadlifts here. So we've done the single leg version of these, but I don't think that we've done these two-legged versions at all this time. So you're going to try and keep your back flat, and you're trying to drop the kettlebell down right in between your feet. So the easiest way to think about this is really just to push your butt back as far as you can, and then bend from the hips, and then squeeze your butt to come back up. And then on our next one, our low cable row, we had a little wardrobe change. I had a client come in to work out. So here we're trying to pull that elbow back, squeeze the shoulder blade, and I'm really keeping all of my weight mostly through my front foot. And don't focus on pulling with your hand. Think about driving your elbow back behind you. It's going to help just get the shoulder blade back towards your spine. Onto our upper body push here, we have a push press. And I think about this really just as a dip and drive. Bend the knees and hips, press straight up overhead quickly. And then from the side view coming up here, you can see that I'm keeping my upper body pretty much upright, and those hips are jutting back a little bit as my knees come forward. And then in that bottom position, notice that my elbows are a little bit in front of the shoulder, so it's not like a traditional military press. And then we're on to our core exercises, so we have some resisted dead bugs. So we're going to press the belly button down to the ground, get a little bit of tension through that band, and notice that I keep my knees past my hips. That's going to help increase some of the tension on the abdominals. And you definitely don't have to keep them out that far, but don't pull your knee back towards your chest as you lower your other leg. And then onto our pal-off press here. So we've done these ones before. You're going to press straight out in front of you, hold for a second, and then come back in nice and slow. Notice I keep my knees bent and my toes are forward. The big thing I usually see here is that people go too heavy and that weight just pulls their arms across their body. Definitely keep it a little lighter than that. Alright guys, and then on to workout 2. We're going to start out with some 2 to 1 leg vertical jumps. So you're going to jump up. Doesn't need to be super high, just like our broad jumps. It's not about the height or the distance, it's about the landing. So you're going to land as soft as possible, and notice that my knee doesn't really move left or right, and that's a big focus here. From this side view, you can see I keep my chest upright, my knees coming a little forward, and I'm landing on my whole foot. The biggest thing is try not to collapse forward from the hip when you land. Alright, and then onto a little glute work here. We have a hip thrust. So that bench is just below my shoulder blades. I'm going to keep my tummy tight, and I'm going to push through my heels so that when I'm at the very top, I'm squeezing my butt, and my knees are bent at 90 degrees. Notice that my chin is tucked the whole time, so I'm kind of looking at the corner of the room, and then at the very top right above me. That's just going to make it so that your low back doesn't round out, and you're not feeling it there as opposed to your glutes. Alright, and then third for our lower body here, we have a backwards monster walk. Notice that that band is at my knees. You can put it around your feet though if you really wanted to for more tension. I'm stepping side to side and back, so it's a 45-degree angle. And that doesn't need to be perfect, but if you go back too far or forward too far, that band is just going to roll up your knees or off your feet. And then up next we have our reverse flies. Again, like the RDLs that we did, my back is going to be completely flat. I'm going to have my elbows slightly bent, bring the back of my hand up towards the ceiling and really focus on squeezing the shoulder blades back towards each other. This is one of those exercises, definitely keep the weight a little lower than you think you need to. Alright, and then onto our push-ups here. These are going to be done a little different, so we're going to hold that bottom position. Pause right there, squeeze the glute so that we lift our leg up, and then drop it back down as we push back up. If you need to modify because these can get pretty tough near the end, just like I am here, go to the knees. You can still squeeze the cheek and get that glute activation because at the end of the set, they can still get pretty darn tough. Alright, and then on to flutter kicks. We're going to hold a little crunch, lift the legs up off the ground, and then just alternate our feet. If you need to make these a little easier because you feel like your low back is rounding, just like I did there, bend your knees, bring your knees back towards your chest just a bit. Alright, and last but not least, we have our cable oblique rotation. So we're going to keep the elbows slightly bent, rotate the shoulders, and keep the hips pretty quiet. And just like the pal-off presses, I'm going to have my knees bent, and I don't need to go super heavy with this weight. If anything, it's better to increase some of the reps here as opposed to putting more weight on. Alright guys, and that wraps it up. Again, sorry for having this video out a day late. I wish I could have found some time to actually get it out earlier. Again, if you have questions for me, shoot me an email, comment below, and I'll get back to you as quick as I can. Thanks guys.